All right, everybody. Today we are going to do a thing that some people on the Sasha Blouse contest wall thing post said that they'd like to take it's like a video on like deck building, like on how to deck build, but it's kind of weird because like in our game, it's really character dependent, like on what you want to build and how you want to build it. Like certain characters aren't going to build the same. So I have like a pattern that I follow, how I usually build my decks. Granted, not everyone's going to follow the same pattern, but I could show you how I, base my patterns, like how I do my pattern, and then how I build a deck, and then how I like condense it from this big bloated mess into like the first version that's probably playable. So I'm gonna take a line from Tam Cardwell, our overlord content creator, and he did a video on the best products available for a new player. So I'm taking that idea and I'm gonna take the Mirio deck character, and we're gonna take pieces out of that deck and we're gonna combine it with stuff from all across standard to build a Mirio deck that a new player could probably play, and it would probably be kind of cost effective. Probably outside Phantom Threat. Probably. That'd be the most expensive card, because I don't think we're going to play Manifest. Yeah, so that would pretty much be it. So let's get into it. So first what I do is I usually pick a character. We already know our character. I already have some attacks that I want to kind of mess with in my brain. So we'll go to card search. We're going to get Mirio. Oops, that's Mitito. Mirio. Mirio and his big dumb face. So we're going to add Mirio to the deck. Alright, so I want to build him off the Chaos symbol, because I really, really like the Chaos symbol. But we are also going to get air-attuned cards in the deck. So that'll be another piece of the puzzle when we build the deck, right? So... oh man, Scott's already got Vestige and the Dark Hero Arc stuff. Keep doing what you're doing, Scott. So we're going to click Standard, obviously. We're going to clear this. So what we're going to do is I do attacks first. We're going to go Chaos, Attuned Air, because this will cover both. Attuned Air. And he works off of punches and slams. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at punches and slams. So slam, punch, and then search. So we're going to go through. I already know that I want to put Massive Swing in the deck. It's a slam, so he can change the zone and give it 2 damage. Also, it feeds into our momentum gimmick, because we want to get we want to stockpile momentum for our cool commit, zero out a move. We can zero out one of our opponent's moves. And then also, this some of our attacks may have some cool momentum effects, like Powerful or Echo, depending on what it is. Or there may be some other defensive tricks that we can use, like Broken Psyche, Mirio himself, Incredible Displays Cancel. We may not put that in depending on the price. We could probably try to price this deck out afterwards if I'm feeling saucy. So I don't know how long this video is going to be. So it usually takes me a good half an hour to build the deck, but I'm going to be explaining things, so it could take a lot longer. So so what I normally do is I start off with like the core attacks. So we're playing Massive Swing, and then we're going to keep going. Destructive Slam. Oh, Destructive Slam's kind of cool. It's a throw. Ooh. It depends, because we don't want a lot of 5-diffs in the deck. Mesa Mallet. Oh, Gigantification Swing's really good too. Okay, so I don't know if we're going to be going the Armor of the Wolf route, but we will end up playing probably Armor of the Ape. But I know that I want to play. Where is it? I know I want Phantom Threat in the deck, and I know I want Claw Stopper in the deck. And now this is where we're going to try to find other pieces. Seafood Slugger, Rescue, Counterattack. Ultimate Combo is really cool. Ooh, Agile drops a slam. Ooh, I kind of like that. And Blue Flame. All right, so we're gonna get some cool options here. We're not double jabbing our pummel because we don't know how many charges we're going to play. This is probably a good board piece for defensive pieces. Let's see, no. Viscous Lunge, no. Dark Shadow, no one checks. We don't know how many. It says combo low attack, so it has to be printed. If we almost had a way to give this speed on our character, this would actually be worth playing, because passing 2 and 2 to our next ranged, but we don't know if we're going to have enough ranged for it. Death Arm Swallows are cool. I kind of like Agile Drop as like a 2x. Because it can get us a cool card out of our discard pile to kill our opponent. Save a Million Strike. Claw Stopper. Repel Strike. Repel Strike's pretty good. We like that. That card's cool. Phantom Punch. That is a really, really good block. Let's see here. Titan Cliff, Canyon Cannon, no. Frog Hop, no. Gently Trampoline. It's card draw with a low block, but it's half dead. This is a maybe, because like we would like to have stuff on play that we can, you know. This is a 5 diff, 2 low for 8 throw if it's not blocked. Things happen. That block sucks though. I would like this. Armor of the Wolf's probably a little pricey. Armor of the Ape isn't terrible, but it's a 5 diff. Gigantic Vacation Swing. So the issue is, like, we don't want to play two. Okay, so like when building an attack lineup, you don't want to go too 5 diff heavy unless you're playing City Rampage, and we're trying to avoid playing City Rampage. Because you want your attack curve to curve out, right? You want to go like 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Like that's like in the perfect world. But a lot of times we don't get to do that. Sometimes it's on a 5, on a 6, on a 7, on a 7, on an 8. You know, like just because of the cards in our hand. This wouldn't be too bad at a 2x because it does give us some check passing power with the spend and momentum. So we could technically, like, Phantom Threat, put it into our momentum, and then Gigantification Swing. At a 2x, it isn't terrible. Or we can Massive Swing, get a momentum, play this. Let's see, Butt Basher, no. It's just kind of poopy that they're all like 5 diffs or 7 diffs. Except for like some like real bad stuff. Let's see what we get out of the starter. I really kind of like this. What was it? Wasn't the, where is it? Phantom Punch. I kind of like this. It's a good role player. It's basically a 5 low for 6. Stun 1. Or if they're in deadlock, you just make this a high and they can't block it. I kind of like this card. I think we're going to put it in. Phantom Clothesline gives us some draw. I think we might play a couple of these because we like. Okay, so another thing too on like our we kind of want to look for. The name of the game is card draw in this game right now. I mean, it has been since MHA 1. So what we're looking for is ways to fuel or keep our hand size up while attacking and playing cards. So we're gonna look like we try to find attacks that do it. Like this is change the zone of the attack. If the zone, you change the zone with Mirio to a mid, since the zone is now a mid, we get to draw a card, which is awesome. And then also, if our rival's taking damage, we get to steal a foundation, which is kind of cool. It may or may not ever happen, but if it's like our second attack and they've like taken some damage, so we could revisit and play like some throws. But since we're Mirio and we're going to be taxing their low blocks, eventually they'll just end up getting hit. Banishing Repel Strike. This gives you ready, and this commits. It's a one. That speed sucks though. That speed's really bad. One thing about Mirio is that he doesn't get a lot of speed. He puts in a lot of damage, and he wants to tax a block zone of your opponent. So depending on how many blocks of a zone that our rival has, you may just call the right zone the entire time. A lot of times, like a lot of people will hold highs and lows and never hold mids. So what you do is you just call mid the entire time. Like you train them to hold certain block zones. Like you call low, 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 or high, 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 but never call mid until late game. And then you just spiking mids the entire time, and they're partial blocking or not even blocking sometimes. But they're probably partial blocking most likely. Because the typical commonplace with Mirio is just to go low, 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 and then right off the bat, you go high, 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 like on your final attack string, and then they don't have any blocks. More often than not, a lot of players in the current meta will be able to. They can block mid with combined firepower, so that never matter. That doesn't matter. They'll delete your attacks with Cape or Genkai's Guidance. So you really have to be mindful of that stuff. The one thing about Chaos is it doesn't have it has some asset hate. It's kind of bad. It just flips to cancel, so VME just eats it alive. So I think VME would eat this deck alive because it has not a whole lot for momentum hate, but what I wanted, or asset hate too. So what I wanted to do was try to make a deck that a newer player could pick up. Like I said, we're going to go in, and if I have some time, and I'm going to price out the deck, and maybe I'll post it in the comments below after I do that, because I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long. So I really like Gently Trampoline in this because we can leave it alone and it's 6 damage, and if it's blocked, we draw, which is kind of nice. I think that might be it. Let's take a look at our. Let's see where we're at. 27 cards, huh? We're at 24 attacks. Okay, so we can probably trim. So we're at 24 attacks. Let's see how many are 5 diffs. 10 or 5 diffs. And I even added in all the Gently Trampolines I want. So I think we may end up with check block zones on attacks. High, 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 low, low, low. Or so okay, so one thing I like to do, not only is to keep my 5 diffs super duper low, is to keep my block spreads even. Granted, not every time. Like, ideal world would be 7 highs, 7 lows, 7 mids in a 21 attack deck, right? Like, that's what you want. That's the perfect. But depending on your meta, your local meta, there may not be a lot of low attacks. Like, there may only be Walk the Dog, but we can just use that for Mirio and just be like, nope, and it's a 0. So we may not get the, but like instantly I can probably cut. Like, Phantom Clothesline and Claw Stopper are pretty much the same card. So we're just going to take Phantom Clothesline out because it's just a better card. Claw Stopper is just a better card. Breaker 1, it's faster. It's not faster, but it gives us momentum usage. It gives us a momentum usage in our momentum. Like, as draw a card, then discard. And then it's also the same thing. If I have a momentum, draw a card. So we can either Phantom Threat or Massive Swing, get a momentum, and then slap this down on a 4, draw a card, and we're off to the races. Let's see, block zones again. I really like Agile drop in here, but I think I'd rather it just be this. Draw a card. This is a 3 for 5 with that enhance, a 3 for 7. The block is a little more poopier. But this says we get to draw a card if blocked. That's debated on if our opponent actually interacts with us. I'd rather not have to worry about our opponent interacting with us or not. Alright, so let's check difficulties. So we got 2 of that, 3 of that, 4 of that, 2 of that. Let's look at our block zones one more time. So we got 9 highs, 4 lows, 8 mids. We might do this. We'll go one of that. We'll board another. Yeah, we'll just do that. And then we will go one more of this guy. Because this gives us speed. This gives us a 1 speed, and it's kind of nice. The reason why we're not playing Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken is it's a very expensive card. And then also it doesn't work. It doesn't transition with Mirio. Like, it's like the best asset hate. Maybe we board it. Like, we could just put some of the cards in the sideboard. Like, if you wanted to go ham on the deck, that's what we'll do. So we won't actually have a board. We'll just say these are the cards that you can add, but they are pricey. I know Phantom Thread is probably kind of pricey, but I think it's, if you're playing Mirio, you need 4 of it. You could probably go 3x and then go like another identification swing. Let's do that, because drawing double Phantom Threat in a turn just feels kind of bad. And they're the same block, right? Yeah, they're both +2 highs. Yeah, because double Phantom Threat in a turn sucks. Because this is kind of a non-bow too, right? Like, get a momentum, but we can, we get it, but this would clear it, but we would have a momentum. It's kind of weird. So they're just different uses at different times. But this is like, it's just a huge stat stick compared to, like, this gets faster and bigger, but this is just big to begin with. So and also it's my favorite card out of Attack on Titan, so I wanted to play that. So after I get my attack lineup set, I go into assets and actions. So let's go ahead and go back to card search. Standard assets, actions, chaos, air attuned. Oh yeah, and infinity. I didn't add in infinity attacks because I, on principle, hate the 4 diffs, the 4 check attacks, so we're not playing them. So, strategic maneuver. That's only if we play assets. Gas propellant gives us a perpetual +1 speed. Surprising strength's pretty cool because it can give us momentum when we need it, like on an opponent's turn. There's a lot of cool tricks with that card, like on an opponent, like on a rival's turn. Like, if you have like a damage or a speed reset, you can play it, give them the opposite, and then use your speed or damage reset. We don't need any of this. We really should be playing vertical maneuvering equipment. We'll put 1 in. Support. We're not playing city. Knott's Flask is super cool. Cape. Genkai is going in the board because that's just a pricey card. Dark Tournament Looms is pretty cool in Mirio because you get to draw and get your momentum back. Manifest also goes in the board. I'll have to put Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken in there too. Anavoice could be something because every attack is a ginormous. We don't do that. No, I am here. Runaway is a discard. I think that might be it for assets and actions. So let me go back and add the attacks that I would if I'll put them in the board for the super expensive ones. So like this one, oh man, if it worked with him, it would be super cool. Get a momentum on blitz and then change it to a zone. It'd be super sick. In theory, you could make an argument that a lot of these weapon attacks are slams because they slam into the Titans with their swords. Let's see here. Debris. Oh, baby. Let's see here. This one doesn't really matter because, yeah, we're just, yeah. Like, if we wanted to play an 8 diff, this would be the one because we'd make it a 7 low for 13. but like maybe a 1X, but I just don't want to play it. I just don't. I just refuse to play those cards because I believe they shouldn't exist. But anywho, going on, moving on, moving on. Like Mesa Mallet's pretty cool. I really should have just made this stuff. I should have just made this punched in rate, whatchamacallit, so it'd be a lot faster. So let me go here real quick. Boo, 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 punch, slam, duh, duh, duh. Yeah, 52 results. So Armor of the Wolf. Like Gently Theft is kind of cool because it's a flash attack. Yeah, you can't do anything, but if you have a bunch of momentum, you get to like nuke their hand. I think that might be it. Other than Vast Hybrid and Kabir Kraken will probably you probably may want to put it in there. Yeah, I'll just pull up. I think that might be the only like chaos attack that. Vasty. Like, I don't expect anyone to go out and spend like $25 a copy to build it, but like this probably should be in your board or main boarded somehow because it's your most important piece of asset hate. Because the only other piece of asset hate that we got is on a foundation and it's a flip and it sucks. It's a 6 check. That's it has Mirio's dumb face on it, but that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's just bad because it loses to. I mean, like this also loses to like Nullify or like Vast Strength, but which is kind of funny because Vast Hybrid. It like the other one is on a response and it's just a one-time use. This you get it 4 times because you play 4 of them. So we'll go ahead and just put it in the board. All right. So let's see here. We're gonna do this. We've got our assets and actions. We'll go to foundations. So when I go to foundations, I usually start at the bottom. I start with my 0 diffs because that's like the way you're going to finish out your build turns and your attack turns building after you attack on easy curves. So we'll put a 0 up here in the difficulty. And then we're going to skip the attack on Titan ones. It depends how much Toga is in your, okay, so I'll put this in the board because it really depends on how much Toga 3 is in your meta. It's actually a really good card because it gets -2 to your block modifier, so you commit this, flip, -2 to your block modifier, which is really good. Master Sprite's good because we're gonna be snapping momentum, so a couple copies would be good. Basic training, 4x. Easily excited, 4x. Chaos has the best 0s, just hands down. We're not playing any weapons, so that's good. We're not Mighty 9. -1 damage doesn't really do a whole lot. So yeah, that's our 0s. And we're just going to put 4x's of everything. I usually do until I start having to pare things down. So we're going to go to the next spam, which is 1. Alright, so Daring Confrontation, nope. We don't need +1 speed. This could be neat. It does. We do play some 4 diffs and it gives us some speed. We'll check it out. It might go in as a 1 or 2 of. No, we don't want to randomly discard Horrifying Realizations at a 4x because we want to draw a million cards. -3 speed if we mill. -1. No, there's just better 1 diffs. No. Nope. 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 Are we really going this far? Holy crap. I mean, there's more, but Great Buckler's really good, but like, since Mikasa's gone, it really doesn't matter. Trickster's Blessing's would be in the board, just because of risky encounter decks are mostly decks that like to stun you. Some of them. Terrifying, fearsome transformations. The easiest layup for an AOT promo ever. Master, Human Hunter. Okay, so here's some of our defense. Fast Friendship at a 4x because we're going to flip it. No, no. Twisted Love, no. Internet problem solving. We're going to play some copies of Creeped Out. I actually play this in my Rodan deck, and I actually love it. It's very, very good and underrated. We do need ways to clear our stage to get rid of face down, so we'll play a couple Nezhere. Endless Loathing. Wear Your Smile Now is another card that we could play to get rid of cards in our opponent's. So there's a lot of people. Let me get some water real quick. Excuse me. Okay, so the risky encounter decks, the King G decks, even Rodan are some of the highest, are some of the best meta decks, right? They work off their discard pile. They recur stuff. Risky Encounters gets to play it short work out of our discard. Granted, the short work isn't really played that much, but Risky Encounter, anything that Ghidorah can pull out of. Rodan can remove cards to get combined fire powers with incubating. So this would allow some interaction with those cards by flipping it and you add it to the bottom of your rival's deck, right? So they either have to cycle their deck to get to it or have a way to shuffle their deck and get it out of the deck. So I think people should be playing this card if you're on Symbol, or if you're on, we're going to get to some 2-diffs, and for this deck, and Confused is another one. We're good there. We don't need that. After Arrival, we don't really care about, we're going to try to get as much momentum as possible. Chivalrous. At least a 3x. Excuse me. Struggling with Studies is going to be a 2x. This is just, okay, so this is because we both get to draw. At some points, we just don't care if our opponent has a card in their hand. We're just going to kill them anyways. Also, it is Destruction and Destruction Protection and Flip Protection, which is really good. Struggling with Studies is considered broken by a lot of people. I don't know why. But it returns a block to hand, which is great. Or it also is Flip Protection. So that's it for ones. Let's take a look and see where we're at. We have 71 cards right now. So 71 is because we have 11 right here. Stats. Our main is 59. So we'll probably end up cutting some of this stuff down. So we're going to be looking at moving some of these numbers up and down. Nope. Alright, so we're going to go foundations. Now, the 2-diff foundations are going to be some... That's the 0 and 1s are our spam. The 2s are kind of like our bread and butter. It actually is it's the core of our foundation base. Some cool things that we get off of air. Oops, I forgot to put 2s. Boop. 2. We get not failed rescue. There it goes. Mikasa defeats the female Titan. We'll probably just put that as a 3x for right now. The block sucks, but it doesn't matter because it's flip after you block an attack. After you block an attack, that attack deals no damage. So no matter what, the attack, no matter if you partial block or if it's a throw and you full block, it's fine. You will not take any more damage. Now, Change of Plans is a cool card I'd consider in the deck because if your rival blocks 2 or more, you still get a momentum. No. Aaron's Sidestep's another good card. It gives us -2 and defensive draw, but we have to fully block it, and that's the one thing I have an issue with. Titanic Combat. Disarming Glance is fantastic to stop people from drawing. So we'll put that in the board. Granted, our board's going to be bloated by a bunch of cards I'd like to play. Seeking Entry is a good 1x in a deck. If your rival just randomly adds cards to their hand by a non-character ability, you can commit this, you seal one foundation, and draw a card. Steaming Sphere, I'd probably play a couple copies of. Destroy, add one slam attack from your discard pile to your momentum, just to get us some snap momentum. Also, it's really going to be played for that flip response where our rival is going to try to play an ability that spends one or more of our momentum. We cancel the effects. And then we're going to board Childlike Appearance. Sometimes we have to block and things are just too fast. Hungry for Fame could be a neat card because you get to pick up a momentum and put it to your hand. Issue is I don't like the commit flip. It's a very, very high cost. Urtogi Expertise is a good 1x because we can just play an attack, commit this, draw a card. We don't play weapons, so we don't need any of that. Let's see here. Elasticity is very good, but it all depends on how much stun is in your meta. Put it in our board. Pro Hero number 5 has some really interesting interactions. After an attack resolves, it flips. So like shift attacks would not flip, cards would not go to momentum. So we're looking at some like our characters our characters are offense, right? So we're really looking for our foundation base to bolster the defensive side, which he's kind of both, but he's really known for his, like we don't really need that much offense on our foundations. We just need ways to support the defense, and this card kind of does that. We'll put it on our board though. Incredible Display is one of those pricey cards that I would play. Lemillion to the Big Three. We want to see that card. That card is our damage and speed bumps. It's crazy. Nice Try is a good... it may end up getting cut, but it's a good card because it helps you pass checks, readies, and it kind of gives you minus speed. Sun Eater Broken Psyche is amazing because it's basically Mirio on face. Here's Pass Through Walls. Okay, this is the card I was talking about earlier. As response, after your rival plays a breaker ability, cancel it. Cool. And then flip, after your rival plays an ability on an asset, cancel it. So really, the one-time only assets like Cape, League of Villains, that are once per turn technically because they commit, this is fine. But cards like VME, this does nothing. Like if your opponent, if your opponent spends their last momentum and you flip this to cancel it, that's perfectly fine. But the issue is they get more momentum, they're going to get to use it again. There's just no asset destruction in Chaos. It's like we're just kind of hosed. But it does go there. Unless I'm missing something. I may be missing something. We don't need Force Quirk. I'm gonna be very bummed if I'm missing something. We don't want to. This is very redundant. We don't want to give our opponent cards. Like Petty Squabble is a good card, but that's like a 1x card. It's almost like one of those cards that you just cut at the end. All right, here's another one of those discard pile hate cards. This only targets attacks though. So it removes the attack from our opponent's discard pile and we choose one of its keywords. The attack loses that keyword and cannot gain keywords. So it does allow us to just cherry pick whatever attack we want. Like this card's really good against Ghidorah, really good against Toga 3, really good against not as much Rodon, but it's really good against any deck that wants to play risky encounter out of their discard pile or short work. Also, it can also get rid of cards it's also really good throw hate because you just remove a throw, it loses throw, it loses powerful, it loses EX as long as those attacks that you're removing has it. It's a very good card. It's just underplayed because there really hasn't been much use to it to do it. I think we're... Man, if there's going to be... Okay, there's no Azad Hay here. Okay, so we're going to go to 3s. We don't care about effective punishment. There probably isn't a whole lot of 3s we're probably looking at. Like, History's Greatest Monster? It's interesting. We play like only like 7 or 8 5 dips, though. Strategic Meeting could be good, because it does give us momentum at the start of the turn. We'll put it in as a 1x, and then we'll see how many cards actually meet that criteria. So this is a neat card. So we could play this, remove with spend a momentum, and any of the attacks we left high, we get to add them back to our hand. That's very interesting. No, Button Collector's interesting. He hates another zone change. Excuse me. Like, Vast Hybrid's kind of cool. But, like, I don't know. I don't know if we actually need like, okay, so here we go. Award the Victor probably might make it in, because after an attack hits, we can stack it, and then we can form Horrifying Realization and grab it and then replay it. So I love that play. So alright, let's go to the deck, because I don't think there's any 4s. So we have 98 cards, because we have 20 in our board. Our main deck is 72, 74, 77 cards. So now you're probably wondering, how do we pare down from this? So we know our attacks are fine. We're probably not. We're probably just playing one of each of these. We're probably going to board the Anna Voices. And we're probably just going to play... We're going to try to get it down to like a 63 card deck. Maybe 64. We may end up cutting the... Like, this kind of feels redundant, too. So we're just going to play 1x Cape. We're going to play 1x Cape as our main asset. We would probably board a second. So let's get our difficulty going, and we'll take a look. I think we played 3 of these, because we want to curve out. I usually try to play 10 to 11 about 10 to 11 zeros, depending on how good they are. We may end up cutting some of these down. So first we're going to go in and check out all of our 1x's and see if it's really worth playing. We'll just cut this guy. Petty Squabble, we'll cut, because we're never going to commit our thing. This is gone because we don't need it, because we don't care about speed as much. We'll cut this to a 2x, and we just board another copy. I think we just board this anyways. Steaming Sphere's fine, that's fine. Nice Try is actually kind of okay there. I think we go down to 2x Chivalrous. 2x this. Leave that. Leave that. Leave 3. 3. So normally what I like to do is I like to go cut down our 4s into 3s and then see where we're at there. So how many cards are we at now? We're at 67. So probably can get rid of a couple high blocks. We'll get... Nope. Two... I think we get rid of this, and we cut this down to I mean, we could just cut one of these down to we'll cut Massive Swing down to a 3x, play 20 attacks. And we're at 65 cards. 20 attacks, 42 foundations. 65 cards isn't terrible, especially since we have a fair amount of card draw. We have agile drop to pick up any card we want out of our discard pile as long as it's in our card pool. Claw Stopper is really good. It's cycle draw. Phantom Threat feeds into that. Phantom Punch is also we cut the other one that was a draw. So we have how much draw on our attacks? 1, 2. That's not bad. Our main draw engine is Claw Stopper though. Master's Pride, basic training, easily horrifying. Let's check out our difficulty curve. So 4, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 19. This is way too many spam. But all the spam for Chaos is amazing, so yeah, I think we could probably also cut the looms or the strength, actually. We'll leave them. What is it? 65 cards? I don't know. I think, because, let's check out our graphs. So, we're at 30% attacks, which is usually what you kind of want to end up at. Depending on the character, like Mirio's more of an aggressive character, so you want to have more attacks in your deck. We probably could go to 21 attacks again. Actually, let's do that, but where is our cool Phantom Punch? But we're going to go 4x on the Phantom Punch. And then we're going to drop another one of our high blocks down. I think we just cut this. Actually, what we do is we just cut this. So Dark Tournament Looms is probably just going to go down here. We'll just add it to this. But 65 cards seems pretty good with 21 attacks. A lot of highs though. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I think this is where we sit, to be fair. We would board another cape. Yeah, I think this is okay. So from here we would probably have to test the deck, right? Because we have our 21 attacks, 42 foundations, our 2 assets and actions. So we probably would end up just cutting whatever, we'd cut down, to get closer to that number, that 63-ish number that I think is safe for an aggressive character. 60 to 63. We'd have to figure out do we cut the creeped outs? Do we cut a fast friendship and a creeped out to get closer? Do we cut nice try down? And do we just bank on Broken Psyche having momentum and more Mirio stuff, right? So I think this is where we end up before testing the deck out at locals to figure out what we actually need to pare down. Maybe Gigantification Swing isn't the correct card. Maybe we just play 4 Phantom Threat, 4 Massive Swing, or we can actually maybe trade for some Vast Hybrids or Armor of the Wolves, and we'll put Armor of the Wolf in the deck over Gigantification Swing, or Agile Drop, right? Maybe we get some of these, or we get some Vast Hybrids. So this is probably where we start if we were a newer player and we wanted to build a deck. So we'd start with, like I said, attacks. We figure out our character. We figure out our character's gimmick. And then we just lean into it because that's what they want you to do. Sometimes it's okay to go off script, but Mirio, he can't. He's keyword locked. So you need to go into the gimmick. And we did. We found ways to draw cards on attacks and some foundations. We found some cool tech like Surprising Strength and Phantom Punch and where was it? A strategic meeting. Also, then we packed in more defense because our character's mostly offense. So we got creeped out, fast friendship, nice try, broken psyche, steaming sphere to add pieces of our, so we can, like I was talking about how this is another card. Steaming sphere allows us to pick out an attack from our discard pile, a slam, and add it into our momentum. So, and that can hit agile drop, phantom punch, claw stopper, armor. I think it's everything, right? Yeah. So maybe we do play Dark Tournament Looms. I think we just play 66, and yeah, I'm putting Dark Tournament Looms back. Because I just realized that actually is a cool play to do that. So let's put it as a 1x. If it comes up, it comes up. And again, and then you may want to change some of these numbers, right? You just want to stick around this 60 with 66 graphs. We at 30%. We're at 31. We're still at a pretty high attack ratio. So 66, we probably want to cut down to 64 from here. So we probably just board Cape, most likely, and we board like a Broken Psyche, or we just cut Strategic Meeting altogether, or we just cut Surprising Strength and go 2 Dark Tournament. We just cut this. But a cool thing is though, like I just realized in the middle of making this, that Steaming Sphere, any of our attacks into our discard from our discard pile into our momentum, we get to two or whatever attack we want. So we leaned into the character gimmick, then we supplemented it with defensive foundations to help out to support our zero out, right? So that's where the fast friendship creeped out. Mikasa defeats the female titan, and nice try, broken psyche. So we're gonna try to pile on momentum. And then use that for really cool effects like gigantification swing, phantom threat has powerful, massive swing has powerful. It's just too bad we don't have any EXs in here. We would if we were playing Armor of the Wolf, we would have EX and powerful. So this is something that we'd probably want to include into the deck. Probably over Gigantification Swing, to be honest, and a Phantom Punch. So we just go 3x of all the 5 diffs and just play 9 5 diffs, which is actually not that bad of a number. Traditionally, you kind of want your 5 diffs to be not a third of your attacks, but like maybe like 7 to 10, or 7 to 8. Like it's probably a third. Yeah, my bad, a third. And then the rest of them are all 4s and whatever. If you could find cool 3 and 2s, that's awesome too. So this is where I would actually start with Mirio. After you've played the starter deck some, I would try to adjust it into this. This is a good jumping off point for locals. I believe the Gigantification Swing and Phantom Threats are probably the most expensive cards in the deck. Cape of No Return is getting up there, but I think the rest of them are okay. Yeah, the stuff in the board is the more expensive items, like the Genkai's Guidance, the Manifests, Fast Hybrids, Incredible Displays. Everything else is pretty cheap. It's mostly all the Ultra Rares and SRs. So this would be a good way to start. Hopefully I explained my deck building process to you guys. I know it went a little long. It's almost 50 minutes, so we're going to end the video here. If you have any comments about how the video went, if I made my thoughts clear, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to make some more 101 videos, I guess I'd call them, like sideboarding 101. Like some people in some of the comments in the post were sideboarding tech, like how to do it, how to pare down a deck, which I kind of did here, and some other odds and ends that I'm going to go into and try to make more content for that. And then we'll post these on the weekends so people can have some long form content, because no one wants to watch that during the week because we're all too busy. So with that being said, I'm going to close the video out. Thanks for watching. If you've stuck it out for the whole 50 minutes, you're the best. Don't forget to do all the algorithm things like comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And until the next video, take care.